welcome back to the channel. I am so glad to see you mamas and have this time with you. Today we're going to talk about end of quarter recap and the curriculums that we've been using, how we've been enjoying them, what have we been learning through the process, have we had to take some steps back, take a break, or not do it at all. And I'm going to take each day to share a different subject. So if you'd like to hear more, then let's get started. Hey you, did you hit that play button for the very first time? Well, welcome to the channel. I'm Tasha. This is Tasha Pivots, where we talk about all things mamahood and homeschool and how I'm pivoting through this journey. And like I said in the introduction, we just wrapped up our first quarter of school. I don't know how we did it. We made it. We're going to pat ourselves on the back. But yes, we are, as this video is going up, have wrapped up quarter one. We have finished our 13 weeks of school, and then we take a week off. We actually flipped it a bit because my daughter's birthday was the previous week and I gave her the week off there. So we are actually going to jump right into this week of going into our second quarter. And I want to take each day of sharing with you guys a different curriculum and share how we're liking it, what we're using, how we're using it, how many days we're doing it, and all the feedback in particular of the choices we chose for this year. I'm going to share and sprinkle in our preschool as well, even though Josephine's schedule is not as intense and not as thorough with several different subjects. But I'll definitely be sharing with you guys how she's doing as well. So let's dive in. I'm going to start with writing today. So I'm going to share our writing curriculum with you. So if it's your first time here, then you'll know exactly what we've been doing this homeschooling year, 2021-2022. And then we'll go from there. All right, guys, so for starting in July, we decided to do a year-round homeschooling. And through our 2021-2022 school year, we wanted to continue growing our third grade handwriting practice. And with that, I chose Writing with Ease by Susan Wise Bauer. I was almost going to call her Elizabeth, but yes, Susan Wise Bauer, The Well-Trained Mind. This is the book, the third grade book, so you can see that. And give you a close-up there. It's a pretty thick textbook, or curriculum book. It has not only the lessons in it for 40 weeks, but it also has the exercises for every single day of the week for 4 days. And so we started this curriculum last year and really enjoyed it. I learned a whole bunch as a writer, just fundamentals that I needed to be refreshed on while teaching my daughter. And I love that. That's one of the perks of homeschooling, is being able to grow and learn as you're teaching and growing and learning your young little ones. So we continued with level 3. We did level 2 last year. And with this, it still has the same process of narration, dictation. It's practicing different types of adjectives, nouns, all of the parts of speech. And so as you can see, I'm going to show you. So the first half of the book is going to show you just the first half is lessons or the assignments and what you're going through and workbook. And then the other half is the actual pages. Now what I did is I collected because I had already done this previously, I knew we would need a folder. This is Zoe's folder. On one side of it is her assignments that is already completed, and then the other ones are the assignments coming up, okay? So this is completed, and then this, oh, it's leaning forward. This is the one that we're moving into, okay? Now, even though I was not doing the greatest in the first 2 months of our quarter, just with health and just trying to make it through the day, I still tried to at least do one lesson per week. We have just started to pick back up of doing really finishing up the full week of lessons, whereas before it was like I could maybe get through day 1, day 2, and maybe day 3, but we may fall off on 4 or 3 or 4. And so we've done some catching up and spent some time even on the weekend when, you know, we don't have any plans and we're just sitting and I say, hey, do you want to do this with me? And she's down for it. We'll go ahead and do it. And so just to give you some examples of practice, to show you some pages that we've completed, and what I think is a lot different with this curriculum is that we are doing, and this one is a little bit different. So before I would read a passage within the actual book for that lesson, and then I'd ask some questions for my child to summarize, to let me know what is the narrative thread throughout the story. And it's still that same premise, but now because she's moving up in grade and just reading level and all those things, I actually have her read the story herself. So it comes with the first page, usually front and back of the story. It's little snippets from really good literature pieces and segments, and she'll read it all the way through, and then I'll ask the questions. And then after that, we start talking about narration and dictation exercise. So I'll ask her, give me 3 sentences summarizing that particular story. And, you know, at first it was a little rough when we first got started just because we had summer off and it had been a while. So there was a lot of additive responses where instead of it just being this, this, and this, like one sentence of explaining, it would be several sentences. And so we had to kind of go back and say, okay, I just need you to give me the clear answer, full sentence of what you were told or what happened in this story. And so that has been really great because it's teaching our children that when they're reading something, if a person never read it and they could go and tell them about it in a 3-sentence summary, that is giving them the beginning, the middle, and the end. That's really good. So we've been practicing that quite a bit. We're also practicing knowing when I'm pausing and how long I'm pausing for sentences, so we can know the structure. Is there a comma? Is there a period? Is there an exclamation mark? And how do we tell the difference by how a person is reading and dictating the sentence to us? So we're continuing to grow that that type of ear when it comes to listening to someone read to us, as well as how to even read ourselves when we're reading quietly and we see, you know, that the author decided to put an exclamation mark. We know that there is some energy happening behind what they're saying. It's either, you know, forceful or aggressive, or it could be just a thought. And so just teaching our children those different things. And I really love that about the Well-Trained Mind curriculum. Now, they do go across the board in all literature, but we have focused strictly on just doing their writing exercises, okay? So there's that one. I'm gonna put that down. And then the next one, which is more of freehand, when Zoe started homeschooling with me, when she was in 1st grade, she had a very big passion about learning how to handwrite, cursive writing. And it's almost like a lost art, and that's so sad because I honestly only write in cursive 99% of the time. I have to remember to write in regular hand script when I am writing something that I need to write to even give to the kids, or I'm either writing a note for something. I'm like, okay, I can't write everything in cursive because not everyone can read it. So this has been really great because Zoe has always had a passion for it. And we originally started with just regular little workbooks that I would find at our Barnes & Noble or our Lakeshore Learning, or, you know, I could download and print. And then I found the Good and the Beautiful's handwriting practices. And so first we started with level, I would say we started with level 4 last year for her 2nd grade year. It looks similar to this book. You can also look in the archive of my more homeschooling videos in the description below, where it shows me sharing the flip through of that one if you're looking to maybe find a lower level for your child to do handwriting. But this is the level 5. They're pretty much made the same. You can download, you can pay for the version where you download it yourself and print. I personally liked that it was already bound, so I was willing to wait for it to be shipped to me. And this one is really great because it really is practicing penmanship, how to move your wrist when you're using it when it comes to certain cursive writing. It also helps with, you know, color-coded versions. And as you grow into your levels, then you start writing passages, sentences. You start having more exercises that cause you to have to write a full thread of writing in cursive and remembering what is it to make sure you have your uppercase and your lowercase and all of those things. And so I've really enjoyed seeing her do this to the point where now it's not part of homeschool curriculum. It's actually just her thing, right? So I'm going to show you guys and then they have little cute little exercises. So this was like the first day that she started this version. And as you can see, it has a fun little activity at the bottom that she got to do, which also every activity is intentional. So just do a close-up again. This was just getting a refresher on the first day of like, hey, can you write all of the alphabet A, B, C, and D, and maybe some words that start with that. And so this one was all about dad, which was kind of funny because her dad actually has a beard similar to this photo. But even the lines and details, it's always getting them to practice wrist strength and hand strength, building that in your hands. Okay, and as we've gone along, so I'm going to go farther into the quarter. She does about 2 pages of this. I try to do 2 pages. We do off and on. If you've seen my planning video, we love to do where we go to do school Monday through Thursday. So Monday and Wednesday is this handwriting, cursive handwriting practice, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays we always do our writing with ease. And I always take 2 days for each one. So that I'll take 2 lessons for each one for writing with ease. So that means on Tuesday we'll do week 1, day 1, day 1, day 2. And then Thursday we'll do week 1, day 3, day 4. So we always kind of have a double back. I don't make it so that it's an assignment for every single day of the week. And that's your choice. It's just that's what's worked for us, and that's how I've planned our schedule. And yeah, so we're practicing pronouns, and scripture writing is in here as well. But overall, Zoe has just been enjoying just continuing practicing her handwriting. So here's some more on there that she's done. It'll do pronouns in cursive, and then sharing what does that look like, or it'll be a poem or something that she can practice handwriting. Now, I'm going to throw in JoJo's handwriting in here as well, because she has been doing a little bit of practice, and that's from The Good and the Beautiful as well. I found a little version for toddlers. It's for littles, actually. It's called Doodles of Pre-Writing, and it is, again, by The Good and the Beautiful. It's about half the size of the one Zoe has, and I love it because Josephine loves to trace. I've talked about that in my preschool videos. She loves tracing everything, right? So what I do is, at first, I try to just manage getting her to follow the dotted lines. If you guys can see that, following the dotted lines and going from one end to the other, remembering, oh, this is a darker line. So this is not about her writing words. There are little sections where there's an alphabet letter, and she'll do that. But it's really about her just getting used to holding the pencil and holding it steady to follow and trace what she's doing. I like it. It's a great find for if you've got, she's a preschooler, so she's 3.5. But if you wanted to go up to kindergarten, you could start with this just to get them used to just holding the pencil. And then as they progress, you can move along. They have, I think, levels almost up to 7 or 8. I have to check again. I will link them down below, okay? There's different sections. So in this book, it'll tell you, oh, on this one, we're practicing hearts, stars, and letters. And so then they're getting some practice in visuals of shapes. I will often encourage her that after she's finished, she'll go ahead and do some shape coloring and take some crayons and color that if it goes with the curriculum we're already doing. And so that's been really, really fun. So like even this one, she created her own version of a rainbow after she practiced doing the line practice. So that is her writing, and that is our overall handwriting curriculum. Now JoJo, for that, is the same schedule as Zoe. So the same day that Zoe's doing The Good and the Beautiful handwriting cursive, which is on Monday and Wednesdays, Josephine does her 1 or 2 pages of her doodles for preschool, for pre-writing on Monday and Wednesday. And I'll have her do 1 or 2 pages. It depends on how her excitement to do it and wanting to do it. If she feels that she's willing and invited to do it, then she will. And if not, then I will just only do 1 page and at least get her started for the day. So guys, that is the encompass of like what we've been doing, how we've been doing. Overall, I would say we're going to continue with handwriting. It's a part of our curriculum. It's separate from language arts and literature. So just want to say that we designate a particular section for writing practice. And so some people may use writing with ease as an entire curriculum, and that's up to you, because there is some literature in there. There is practicing basic parts of speech and things like that. But for us, I love designating it for just writing practice and giving that its own space. And the reason I do that is because those are the things that I recognize I didn't have growing up in my public education. There was a little bit of focus of like, what's a noun, pronoun, and a verb, but not what's a linking verb, what is a action verb, and really understanding how to use them in a sentence separately, or how to really work on building your comprehension when you read a story. And now I'm going to ask you these specific questions and I need specific answers. Like all of that is so expansive, and that's why I really enjoy doing Writing with Ease with Zoe. All right, guys, if you have any other questions about writing and the curriculums I've showed you today, please put them down in the comments below. I'd love to answer those as easily as best I can to my ability. I will also link the curriculums that we've been using in our comments or in our description box, as well as showing you some other videos if you'd like to see a little bit more thorough flip through of some of these curriculums. I thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Give this video a warm thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And until next time, you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.